Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to the School of Personal Finance. In today's video, we're going to talk about the 5 accounts that everybody needs. And not only are we going to list out these accounts, but we're also going to talk about the best way to take advantage of what each account type has to offer. All right, let's get to it. All right, if this is your first time here, my name is Rich McCormick. I'm a certified financial planner. I've been a financial advisor for over 20 years. On this channel, we talk all about personal finance, budgeting, getting out of debt, investing for your future. If you enjoy these topics, please make sure to subscribe and also check out schoolofpersonalfinance.com. All right, so the first account that everybody needs in their lives is a high yield savings account or a money market account. Now, we all need to have an emergency fund. It is very tough living paycheck to paycheck and being in debt and not having any money in the bank. So number one priority should be building up that emergency fund to either 3 or 6 months times your monthly expenses, depending on if you're married, depending on the stability of your job. All of those things go into the equation of how much cash you should have in the bank. And now with a high yield savings account, you don't want to go to a brick and mortar bank like Chase or Wells Fargo or Bank of America. Those rates all suck. You want to find an online bank that has an interest rate somewhere in the range of 4.5% as we're making this video. There are some that are higher than that. Like I personally use Wealthfront, which is 5% right now. Some other good ones are Capital One, SoFi. If you do a search, you can see, because the rates are changing all the time, you want to make sure that the account is going to be FDIC insured and that you have easy access to the funds, that they have a great mobile app, but there's many options out there that are good right now. All right, now the second account that everyone needs is an individual brokerage account. So now this is not a retirement account. This is what we call an after-tax account. So you take money that you've already paid taxes on, that you've saved in the bank, and you invest it into a brokerage account. And these types of accounts, they have a lot of different advantages. One of them being that you don't have to wait till you're 59 and a half in order to use those funds, or retirement age. So these are the perfect types of funds. I always joke around and call it for your midlife crisis, right? If you're in your 40s and you want to make a career change or make a big move in life, your brokerage account, you could tap into it at any time and access those funds. So it's great to build that bucket of money available to you inside of a brokerage account, but still have it invested for your future. So you have your high yield savings account for your emergency funds, and then beyond that, you want to start investing in a taxable brokerage account. And you could invest, depending on your time horizon and the purpose of the money, you could invest in index funds, in low cost index funds for the long term. If you have a shorter time horizon inside of a brokerage account, you could also buy CDs or put your money in a money market fund where it's liquid and stable. So there's many different options inside of a brokerage account. But that account, it could become so beneficial even later on in life, in retirement, when you want to have control of your tax brackets. You could take money out of that brokerage account and you get favorable long-term capital gains rates on any positions that you've held longer than a year. And there's 3 different capital gains tax rates. So there's the 0% tax rate, there's the 15% long-term capital gain tax rate, and the 20%. And if you have years where maybe you don't make a lot of money, or you're unemployed, or you make a life change, you could actually sell some of your stocks that have gains and be in the 0% capital gains tax rate, which is awesome. But in retirement, you can pick and choose between your accounts and maybe scrape some out of your brokerage account at those lower tax rates. So it's very beneficial to build out that bucket, not only during your working years, but also have it available once you're actually in retirement as well. And my favorite online discount brokers to use are going to be like Fidelity, Vanguard, Schwab. All of them have great platforms, very low cost. They have great customer service. So I think you can't go wrong with any one of those 3 for opening up your brokerage account. All right, and then the third account everyone needs is probably my favorite, and most of you, if you watch my content, you know this already, and that is a Roth IRA. So for 2024, you could contribute $7,000 into a Roth IRA. If you're age 50 or older, you can contribute $8,000. You get a $1,000 catch-up contribution. And with the Roth IRA, you are taking after-tax money, contributing it into the Roth IRA, and then it will grow tax-free forever. So you don't get any tax benefit in the year you make the contribution, but that money grows tax-free, and then when you take it out in retirement, it is completely tax-free for you. So I love Roth IRAs just because Tax rates, they are historically low right now. So especially if you are in a low tax bracket, right? Odds are tax rates are going to be higher later on in life, considering the deficits and the debt that this country is currently running up. So I want to have as much money as possible in these tax-free buckets in retirement, so I don't even have to worry about taking money out in retirement. I talk about all the time how when I work with people that are retired and most of their money is in tax-deferred accounts like traditional IRAs and traditional 401ks, it's a struggle for them to take out the money because they don't want to have to pay the taxes on it. Having a nice portion of your nest egg in Roth accounts, that eliminates this concern, and it also enables you to have control of your tax brackets later on in life. So I could go on and on about all the reasons, and I made many videos about this in the past of why I love Roth IRA accounts. Now, if you make too much money to contribute to a Roth IRA, then you need to look into doing something like a backdoor Roth IRA contribution. And if you have no clue where to start as far as investing inside of your Roth IRA, right? Because the Roth IRA, it's just an account, it's a holder. Inside of the Roth IRA, you have to choose what investments you want to put your money into. And if you have no clue where to start, a good place could be like an S&P 500 index fund. Now, none of this is investment advice. I don't know anything about you, right? You want to educate yourself on investing in the stock market because you're going to go ups and downs. 2022, the S&P 500, it was down close to 20%. Last year, it was up like 26%. So there's definitely volatility when you invest in the stock market. So you want to understand how that works, but over the long term, it tends to do very well. So starting out with a broad index fund, I think is a great way to go for a majority of people out there. All right, now the fourth type account that everyone needs is going to be your employer-sponsored retirement plan. So like a 401k or a 403b or a 457 plan. And I feel very strongly about this if you have an employer match. If you have an employer match, you have to make sure that you are taking advantage of that free money. Now, 401ks, they're one of the best wealth creators that exist because you set it and forget it. So you set it up, you have payroll deduction every 2 weeks, you have money going into the market. You're not worried about trying to time the market, where the market's going from here. You have a long-term time horizon so you can invest for growth, and there's just money constantly being added to it. It takes the guesswork out of it. And inside of your 401k, hopefully you have some low-cost investment options. Things like large, broad-based index funds like an S&P 500 fund or a total stock market index fund, mid-cap funds, small-cap funds, and you could put together an asset allocation. Many retirement plans also offer target date retirement funds, which could be a great way to just set it and forget it. You just want to be cognizant of the fees and how much all of these different funds charge inside of your plan. But as far as building wealth over the long term, 401ks are a great way to go, especially when you have that employer match that's just getting fed into your account every 2 weeks. A decision that you might have to make is if you should do a traditional 401k versus a Roth 401k. And I recently put out a series of videos on 401k plans and just how to master your 401k plan. So make sure to go check those out. But as far as traditional versus Roth, it comes down to your tax brackets. How much money do you make? If you're in the very high tax bracket, getting that tax deduction and doing a traditional 401k makes a lot of sense. If you're in the lower tax bracket, doing a Roth 401k makes a lot of sense. But overall, I am a big fan of 401ks. You don't need to mess with it too often. Maybe the occasional rebalancing, right? Long-term growth. It's a great way for you to build up that nest egg for retirement because it's going to be on you. Pensions, they pretty much don't exist anymore. So you got to build up that 401k plan and make it happy. Now in 2024, you could contribute $23,000 into your 401k. And you could do that either traditional 401k, Roth 401k, it doesn't matter how much money you make. You could do a combination of the two if you want to, whatever way is going to be best for you. And there's also a catch-up contribution for 401ks as well. So if you're age 50 or over, you're able to contribute an additional $7,500 into your 401k in 2024. All right, and then the fifth type account that everyone needs is a health savings account or an HSA account. Now, the trick with an HSA account is that you need to have a high deductible health plan for your medical insurance, and not everybody has that. So you need to make sure that you qualify for this HSA account. But if you do, they are the most tax-friendly accounts that exist. So in 2024, if you're an individual, you could contribute up to $4,150 into an HSA account. And if you are on a family plan, then you could contribute double that. You could do $8,300 into an HSA account. Now with an HSA account, you get a tax deduction when you put the money into the account. Then you could invest the money inside of the account. and then that money will grow tax-free. And then as long as you take it out for qualified medical expenses, that money will come out completely tax-free. So the way that I love to use my HSA is I max out the contributions, I invest that money for growth, and I'm just gonna let it cook. And then I'm gonna use that later on in life in retirement to reimburse myself for medical expenses that I have paid out throughout my life. So what you could do is you could save receipts for your out-of-pocket expenses that you're paying, and then you could reimburse yourself at any time from your HSA account, and you could take that money out completely tax-free. So it's a great way to save up money for your health expenses later on in life, all the way through retirement. So there are a lot of advantages for using a health savings account. Now, by having these 5 accounts set up and contributing them slowly over time, you are setting yourself up for financial success, not only in retirement, but all the way leading up into retirement. And I understand that it's a lot, right? You could contribute a lot of money to all these different types of plans and accounts, and there just might not be that much money to go around. So at the end of the day, you do have to prioritize, but the most important thing is to just get going, just get started. And then as you make more money as life goes on, you just build up the amounts that you contribute to all of these, so that when you do go into retirement, you have a nice big nest egg that you can pull from, that you could enjoy yourself. So I hope that you found this one helpful. Please make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Check out schoolofpersonalfinance.com, and I will see you again in the next one. Thanks.